Did you know that June is National Homeownership Month? Hey there, if you don't know me already, my name is Dan Hamilton, and I'm a real estate agent right here in Greenville, South Carolina with over 20 years of experience helping buyers and sellers all throughout the Upstate. So June is National Homeownership Month. It's a great time to celebrate the value and benefits of owning a home. It's also a great opportunity to discuss the pros and the cons of owning versus renting and provide some guidance for those of you that are looking to take the first steps into home ownership. So all month, I'll be sharing home maintenance tips, investment ideas, and first-time homebuyer advice. So this week, to get us started, I'm taking a look at renting versus buying a home. So what's the difference between renting and owning a home? Is one smarter than the other? And how do you know what's right for you? All right, so let's get into it. To get started, let's explore some of the benefits of actually renting a home. So first of all, as a renter, you are responsible for none of the maintenance or repair costs associated with your home. Your landlord assumes all responsibility for maintenance, improvements, and repairs. So if your appliance stops working or your roof starts to leak, no worries, you're off the hook. However, when you own a home, you are financially responsible for any and all repairs. So depending on the nature of these repairs, they can definitely add up very quickly. Another financial benefit of renting is having access to amenities that would otherwise cost you a lot of expense. So specifically in the case of like apartment complexes, in-ground pools, fitness centers, work areas, all that are always included at no additional cost to tenants. So if a homeowner wanted to access these amenities, they would have to spend thousands of dollars to purchase them on their own, or at least pay for multiple memberships, none of which would be in walking distance to their home. So even condo owners aren't exempt from these types of costs. So even if condo owners have access to amenities like apartment tenants, maintenance costs are rolled into these homeowner association fees that are due every month. So another area where renters have the financial upper hand to homeowners is the upfront cost. So specifically with regard to down payment. So renters generally have to pay a security deposit that is equal to 1 month's rent typically, and that's it. That deposit is theoretically returned to them when they move out, assuming the property is in good condition. When purchasing a home, your upfront cost could be as much as 20% of the purchase price, which is a very sizable investment. Of course, that down payment money results in home equity, which is a valuable investment and great in the long term. But the amount needed for a down payment is significantly more than a rental to security deposit. A 10% down payment on a house with a market value of $300,000, of course, is $30,000. The average apartment rental in Manhattan, one of the most expensive places to live in the whole United States, was about $4,400 as of February of 2022. So $30,000 is a whole lot more than a $4,500 investment when you consider that upfront cost. So finally, as a renter, you can live anywhere and have flexibility to move very quickly. So renters can live practically anywhere, while homeowners are restricted to the areas where you can afford to buy. So living in expensive cities and in urban areas may be out of reach for some home buyers, but completely achievable for renters out there. So although rents can be high in areas where home values are also high, renters are more apt to find affordable monthly payment than home buyers can. Plus, a rental agreement typically only lasts 1 year. This means that your lease is the only thing that keeps you as a renter from moving anytime you want. Most homeowners, however, have to sell their home before they can afford a new one, and the moving process can be much more complicated as a result. So as a renter, you've got more flexibility in both where you live and how often you are going to move. So while these are clear benefits to renting a home, there are some significant drawbacks as well. So first of all, as a renter, you are building your landlord's wealth and not your own. Your monthly rent payments contribute to your landlord's mortgage, helping him or her build equity in that property. So while the upfront cost of home ownership is significant, all that money builds equity in your asset that you own. As a renter, you live in the home, but it's not your asset. So any tax benefit or other financial benefits that come from being the owner of the home just don't benefit you ever. Second, your monthly payment is variable as a renter. So while lease agreements will lock that landlord into a set monthly payment, typically over that course of a year, they can change in a year and they can go up dramatically. So your monthly payment increases along with inflation, lease renewal, and another factor that landlord deems relevant. So these changes can make it difficult for budgeting your housing costs long term. So finally, that flexibility you enjoy as a renter goes both ways. We already talked about the flexibility and freedom that renting a home provides, but your landlord has a lot of freedom as well. In most cases, your landlord reserves the right to evict you with no more than 30 days notice in the event of a lease infraction or at the end of your lease agreement. You may even be asked to leave without having done anything wrong. For example, your landlord could decide to sell their investment property and need you to move out. So in this video, we've covered a lot of the pros and cons of renting a home. In our next video, be sure to tune in because we're going to cover the pros and the cons of home ownership.